In nature, not every hunt ends quickly. There are battles where resistance continues, even when no chance of survival remains. For the predator, that is simply part of the process of survival. It may look harsh through our eyes. But nature does not operate on compassion. A long-tailed macaque troop is picking fallen fruit around the base of a tree. One young monkey separates from the group, bending down to gnaw at soft bark, unaware that a nearby rotting log has just quietly opened its eyes. What seemed like an inanimate object suddenly rises into a Komodo dragon, driving straight toward the young monkey, biting its leg and immediately releasing, leaving only a small bleeding wound. An alarm call rings through the canopy. The entire troop leaps high into the branches, the young one struggling to climb with its injured leg. But strangely, the Komodo does not give chase. Instead, it returns to its original spot and lies down. The forked tongue flickers continuously, reading the scent on the wind, because for it, the hunt has only just begun. Concealed within that brief bite is an invisible weapon. The wound continues bleeding without stopping, and the prey's body begins weakening steadily from within. High in the branches, the young monkey still climbs and forages, as though it has escaped death. But directly below, the hunter simply lies still, following it silently by scent. The Komodo does not hunt through speed. It hunts through time. On these dry, scorching islands, patience is sometimes more dangerous than strength. But not every predator has that kind of patience. In another wetland, there is a hunter that must strike in an instant, because 1 second of hesitation and the prey will be gone. A brood of ducklings swim single file behind their mother through shallow water. Just one drifts a few strokes out of line, accidentally moving closer to the reed edge where a great blue heron is standing and waiting. The heron does not move. It only lowers its neck a fraction more, then suddenly drives its beak downward at the exact moment the duckling swims past. By the time the water has rippled, the duckling is already sitting in the long beak. One upward toss, and the small body slides down the slender throat. Because that beak was not made to hold or tear prey. It was made to swallow whole and fast before the prey has any chance to resist. Ahead, the mother duck still leads the brood swimming on, quietly leaving a gap in the line. And in a forest thousands of kilometers away, a similar tragedy is beginning. High on a branch in the Southeast Asian forest canopy, a small nest sways in the wind. Inside, a brood of chicks jostle each other with open beaks, calling for their parents to bring food. At the base of the tree, a long brown shape begins to climb. Its skin blends almost entirely into the color of the bark, making every movement difficult to detect. Only when the small snake has crawled up close to the nest do the parents return. They spread their wings and dive to block its path, but cannot drive the intruder back. The wide mouth presses into the nest. The nearest chick is taken in that same motion. No time to react, or pull away. The weak movements of resistance gradually fade with every swallow. The parent birds still circle anxiously outside, but every effort now reaches only empty air. When the nest falls silent, the long shape on the trunk finally moves away slowly. But on the East African savannah, everything is decided in a single moment. In the open grassland, a wild dog pack has just brought down a gazelle after a long pursuit. It has not even fully collapsed when the entire pack drives in to feed. They do not finish the prey first, not out of cruelty, but because there is no time. The scent of blood has already spread on the wind, and from the horizon, a clan of hyenas has begun moving in. The entire pack swallows large chunks rapidly, barely chewing, then carries what remains away, because only what is inside the belly truly belongs to them. Full, the pack leaves the bare skeleton behind and drives straight back to the den. Hearing the familiar footsteps, the pups that have gone hungry since morning rush out, pushing their muzzles against the adults. The adults regurgitate what they just swallowed and feed the pups. At that moment, the brutality takes on a different name: responsibility to the next generation. The way they hunt may look merciless, but on the savannah, where hunched silhouettes are always ready to steal a kill, eating fast has never been cruelty. It is how to survive. A hyena walks past the skeleton without stopping. It does not need the leftovers, because the prey it brought down itself is still lying there, waiting for it to return. A few hundred meters away, a zebra lies in the grassland after the chase. The entire hyena clan has already surrounded it and begun feeding while it is still alive. Hyenas do not wait for prey to stop. Among the most powerful jaws of any carnivore, strong enough to crush large bones, leaving a dry cracking sound that carries across the wind. While the clan feeds from behind, the zebra still tries to raise its head, watching the shapes of its herd fading at the horizon. That is the most heartbreaking image of the grassland. Then the black and white striped head slowly drops into the grass. The weak breathing fades until everything is swallowed by the dry sounds of the hyena clan. That sight is difficult to look at directly, but the hyenas do not concern themselves. Their jaws were never made to know how to wait. The feeding goes on for many minutes, seeming like the extreme point of waiting for the day. But on an island thousands of kilometers away, another hunt has been continuing for many hours. The Komodo dragon is still lying exactly where it was, not moving, not pursuing, only waiting quietly because it knows the prey is slowly consuming its own body from within. In the branches, the young monkey is visibly different from before. It moves less, the injured leg making every shift to another branch more difficult. Inside its body, the toxins from the bite are still spreading silently. Blood unable to clot, blood pressure falling, quietly drawing out the last reserves of the prey's strength. The end is drawing closer. Above, each grip the monkey makes grows more uncertain, swaying, as though just one more gust of wind would bring it down. The young monkey slips from a low branch and falls to the ground. The troop above is frightened, but not one individual dares come down into the open space below. The Komodo moves forward slowly. It no longer needs speed or surprise. The prey has weakened to the point where every movement of resistance is nothing more than a meaningless reflex. The monkey is pinned to the ground, eyes still open to witness everything, but completely powerless. Above, the calls thin out, then dissolve into the silence of the forest. When the last portion has passed down its throat, the dragon moves away and crawls into shade. Its body shifts into a resting state, channeling all energy into digestion. A female monkey looks down from above at the empty base of the tree, pausing for a few beats, then pulling back. The entire troop quickly changes direction, moving away from the area where the event just unfolded. The dragon's body presses flat against the earth, blending into the dull-colored ground until it is nearly impossible to see. Once again, it has become an invisible trap, patiently waiting for the next prey. Across every ecosystem, the hunts have each closed in their own way. Every life that falls does not disappear. It becomes the source of life for another. Nature has no concept of good or evil, no knowledge of compassion or cruelty. It follows only one law: sustain life at any cost. Humans assign emotions to it because we see the world through our own experience. But nature holds no such perspective. It only responds to the conditions of survival. And on that island, the silence is cut through once more. Beneath the leaf litter, a very small movement has just appeared. The beginning of another hunt. It is dawn on an African riverbank. The water has not yet turned blue. A thin layer of mist clings low to the surface, refusing to disappear. Everything is waiting for the day to begin. A gray heron stands motionless on a rock near the shore, not hunting, not moving, just standing there, as if it understands that mornings here demand silence. Nearby, an antelope drinks, small sips, head down, then up again, scanning its surroundings in a rhythm repeated thousands of times before. This is a place every animal must come to, and every one of them must pay some kind of price for a drink. That price is never announced in advance. Lions, the dominant predators of the African savannah. Strength, speed, coordinated hunting. On land, few animals can confront them directly and come out on top. This pride has several cubs under 3 months old. At this age, their brains are still in the phase of exploration, even toward things their instincts have not yet learned to name. The lioness stops about 5 meters from the water's edge. She looks left, then right, then along the surface. It is a habit, but not a complete safety check. Beneath the water, another sensory system is already at work. Along the crocodile's jaws and body are thousands of pressure receptors. It knew the lions were coming before it ever saw them. The Nile crocodile, a reptile that existed long before the dinosaurs disappeared. And it still hunts this way because it has never needed to change. A crocodile does not hunt in the usual sense. It does not chase. It does not surround. It does not need a complicated plan. It simply waits. until the target brings itself within reach. The lioness scans the area one more time. The surface is calm, no unusual sound. She allows the pride to approach and drink. It is the most reasonable decision she can make with the information she has. And that is exactly the problem. This is a problem with no perfect answer. The pride needs water to survive the day. That need cannot be postponed. But every trip to the riverbank means accepting a risk that can never be fully controlled. The smallest cub drifts away. It moves closer to the water's edge than the others. The distance from its mother grows, 10 meters, 12, 15. No one notices. The lioness is splitting her attention between the others and her own need to drink. One animal cannot monitor 4 directions with equal precision at the same time. The bend in the river and the sudden drop near the bank erase the usual warning signs. Lions have no way of reading the underwater terrain, so their ability to judge danger is limited. The early morning light gives the crocodile an even greater ambush advantage. And when several disadvantages stack together, the cub's chances of becoming prey rise sharply. The cub edges closer, crossing into the danger zone. Beneath the surface, the crocodile adjusts its posture without creating a ripple. This is the moment when two worlds are separated by only a thin layer of water. On one side, curiosity and exploration. On the other, a waiting strategy refined over millions of years. The attack comes without warning. The crocodile's jaws clamp shut in less than half a second, with enough force to lock onto the cub's forelimb instantly. The lioness reacts at once, covering roughly 15 meters in under 2 seconds, her roar tearing across the riverbank. But by then, the cub is already being dragged into the water. The crocodile does not need to kill on land. It only needs to pull the prey into the water. Once there, every advantage shifts completely, and the lioness knows that. She charges in up to her shoulders, slamming at the surface. But there is nothing there, only water. And beneath it, her cub is being pulled in a direction she cannot follow. She stops. No more roaring. She simply stands there, shoulder deep in a river that is not hers, staring into the surface with helpless eyes. Below, the crocodile has not yet dragged the cub into safe depth. The cub is still struggling, not from conscious decision, but from the body's raw mechanical reflex against the pull. The lioness manages to bite the crocodile's tail, the only part still within reach. The bite is not enough to injure it, but enough to throw it off for a second. The crocodile responds with a death roll, spinning violently. The lioness is forced to let go, but the twisting changes the angle of the bite, and in that brief instant, the cub slips free. The lioness drags the cub back onto the bank. She does not stop. She does not look back. She retreats farther and farther from the edge until her paws are fully on dry ground. The riverbank is where two worlds touch. The crocodile does not pursue. On land, the game has changed. It knows its limits, just as the lions know theirs. The cub is breathing hard. The lioness begins licking the wound slowly, over and over again. Beneath the surface, the crocodile has already returned to its old position. Motionless, almost invisible. Nothing about it suggests failure. To a crocodile, waiting is never wasted. The entire attack lasted less than 15 seconds. But that was more than enough to leave a mark. Not in words, but in sensation, in instinct, in reflex. In the days that follow, the pride still has to return to the river, but not at dawn, and not so close to the edge. This is how knowledge passes through generations in the wild. Not through teaching, but through pain severe enough for the body to remember longer than any lesson ever could. The mistake that morning did not belong to the cub. It did not have enough information to understand what it was doing wrong. The mistake belonged to the moment of judgment, to 4 stacked disadvantages. A Nile crocodile can go a very long time without food. Waiting is not a choice for it. It is survival. Every time the lions return to the riverbank, to the crocodile, it is simply another opportunity. Lion cubs in the wild rarely survive their first year. Every injury lowers those odds. This cub may recover if infection does not set in. When drought lasts too long, species are forced to gather around the few water sources that remain. The distance between predator and prey shrinks, and encounters like this one become far more common. The striking thing is, neither side is wrong. The crocodile is only doing what it has always done. The lioness is too. In nature, there is no right or wrong, only outcomes. These two species have coexisted along Africa's rivers for millions of years, not because of peace, but because both sides understand the boundary. The lioness does not know exactly where she went wrong. She only knows what happened. And in this world, the result is the only lesson that lasts. The injured cub carries a lesson today that cannot be taught in safety. It may not understand it yet, but its body already remembers. And in the wild, that is enough. Mistake becomes data. Danger becomes knowledge. And that knowledge, if the cub survives long enough to use it, may become a lifelong survival advantage. The burden is not strength. It is responsibility. The lioness does not live only for herself. Every choice she makes affects her young. Survival is not about always winning. It is a chain of choices, mostly right, sometimes wrong. And one mistake at the wrong moment can change everything. The riverbank does not change after the pride leaves. The crocodile is still there. The water is flat again. Everything returns to normal, as if nothing ever happened. Tomorrow, the lions will come back, but not quite the same as today. The lioness will stand farther away, choose a different moment, keep the cubs closer, not because she has planned it, but because she remembers in her own way. And when dusk falls, the river will keep flowing as it always does. It holds no memory. Only the creatures who live beside it must remember, if they want to survive. End of dry season on African savannah, ground cracked long like old wounds. Grass withered crisp underfoot, while air thickened silence. Each species here has a role, and that role isn't fixed. Today's predator can become tomorrow's prey. if it makes one wrong choice. In this harsh environment, no action is meaningless. And sometimes, a successful hunt is precisely the starting point for an unavoidable failure. Africa doesn't favor the strongest, but chooses those who adapt more effectively. And today, the law will be demonstrated through a small species. Honey badger, small, fierce mammal famous for courage, recognized by Guinness as most fearless animal, ready to confront opponents many times larger. Honey badger skin thick and very tough, enough to reduce effectiveness of strong bites. Loose skin also helps it twist to counterattack right when restrained. Honey badger's front claws long, curved and extremely strong, suitable for digging burrows, breaking beehives or foraging underground, and when needed, it tears through anything blocking path. Mongooses significantly smaller than honey badger, but they rarely act alone. This species' true strength lies in ability to coordinate in packs. In a mongoose pack, usually at least one individual performs sentry duty. It observes from high position and signals when danger approaches. Despite having certain resistance to snake venom, their greatest advantage lies in behavior. Group coordination with astonishing speed and precision. This morning, entire pack moving toward nearest water source, a familiar route repeated daily and already silently tracked by honey badger. Honey badger doesn't lack food, but this opportunity rarely appears. When pack begins dispersing to forage, young individuals remain, creating dangerous gap. In nature, distance sometimes determines survival, not just between two bodies, but between an individual and pack's protection, and honey badger knows this. Balance in nature rarely collapses through chaos. It usually starts from very small deviation, then spreads faster than any reflex. Honey badger charges straight at target, no circling or probing. That's the hunting method of animal relying on endurance, boldness, and closing speed. Small mongoose pack reacts almost immediately, but still slower than decisive moment. Warning call rings out, but pack still outside support range. Honey badger bites and holds prey's neck or nape, an effective restraint method helping it quickly end attack before opponent can escape. Honey badger doesn't leave immediately, but begins eating on spot. A common choice for confident predators when not sensing clear threat. Not far away, mongoose pack has heard alarm signal. They stop almost simultaneously, then quickly turn toward direction emitting sound. This isn't random reaction, but social behavior reinforced through natural selection. When one individual signals, entire pack immediately coordinates. Honey badger quickly recognizes pack approaching, but it doesn't retreat. Instead, it turns to face, raises fur, and grips food tightly. Mongoose pack approaches at safe distance, not rushing in immediately. They observe, maintain formation, and assess opponent, before choosing intervention moment. When honey badger turns back to prey position, two mongooses from behind have closed in. They attack tail and flanks, areas honey badger cannot defend. This is attrition attack type. No single individual strong enough to bring down honey badger alone, but entire pack can force it to continuously expend energy. Honey badger counterattacks fiercely and strong enough to bring down several individuals in short time. But mongoose pack doesn't retreat, nor let formation fall into chaos. This is when numerical advantage begins showing effectiveness. Each eliminated individual almost immediately replaced, while honey badger must bear all pressure alone. Honey badger turns back to prey and continues eating. This is biggest mistake it will make today. While head bowed down, three mongooses attack simultaneously from three directions. Situation changes, not from single strike, but because honey badger, for first time, loses control of fighting space around its own body. Honey badger still hasn't left prey, partly from resource-keeping instinct, partly because it never had to abandon anything before. Today is first time. Mongoose pack doesn't rush in chaotically. They attack in short waves, then withdraw, maintaining pressure without depleting own energy. Through each collision, honey badger's reaction speed begins decreasing very slightly. What naked eye hardly notices is clear enough for entire pack to adjust closing distance. Honey badger begins moving to find more favorable opening, trying to regain initiative. But each gap just appearing is quickly filled by entire pack. Confrontation now no longer revolves around prey carcass. Entire mongoose pack has shifted target from protective reaction to applying pressure until honey badger exhausts. Mongoose pack not panicking, they continue following exact rhythm maintained from battle start. Patience is final and most effective weapon in this species' arsenal. Honey badger still bites several more individuals, but force and accuracy markedly decrease. Wounded ones retreat, while remainder continue applying pressure. This is battle about time, not strength. And in this battle, numbers always beat single individual, however exceptional that individual. Honey badger lowers body longer than normal beat. A declining sign mongoose pack immediately recognizes and exploits without delay. They don't need clear finishing blow. Just maintain pressure long enough, remainder decided by opponent's physiological limits. When honey badger falls again, it still manages to rise. But posture has lost stability, showing body beginning to decline movement controllability. Mongoose pack gives honey badger no rest. Each time it struggles up, entire pack immediately tightens pressure before opponent regains balance. Honey badger still bites back, still growls, and still won't retreat. But now, body can no longer keep up with its fighting will. This isn't simply failure of stubborn individual, but proof of survival law. Collective endurance can wear down even exceptional opponent. After ensuring threat has ended, mongoose pack quickly disperses and continues moving toward water source as original route. Honey badger lies motionless long while before beginning to move again. It's not dead, but clearly exhausted and completely lost situation control. Prey carcass still remains in place, but honey badger doesn't return, remaining energy not enough to exchange for what already cost it too much. Nature doesn't judge. No good or bad guys in this story, only choices and consequences. Honey badger chose to attack pack and failed. But story doesn't stop there. One more severely wounded mongoose individual falling behind, and mourning order seems beginning to reverse. Honey badger recognizes opportunity, stops observing. Though body still hurts and exhausted, hunting instinct hasn't disappeared, only temporarily suppressed. And in those few seconds, honey badger looks at pack, then looks at wounded mongoose. First time today, it steps back without anyone attacking it. Honey badger turns away slowly, not fleeing but also not continuing pursuit. First time that morning, it actively refuses an opportunity. In nature, individual strength always has limits, while collective strength can far exceed individual capabilities when organized effectively. Tomorrow, honey badger will continue hunting while mongoose pack still goes toward water source. Nature continues, not remembering and not judging. But what remains after this morning isn't moment honey badger fell, but when entire pack turned back just from brief signal from wounded individual. Nature answers the question, what's stronger, individual or collective strength? It only presents real situations with unpredictable outcomes. Dawn over Africa, first light touches the river surface. Thin mist rises from the still water, covering the sandy bank like an ethereal veil. Along the riverbank, footprints in wet sand tell last night's story. Some came to drink and left. Some species disappeared, never to return. In the distance, a baboon troop approaches the riverbank, then stops on high ground, observing the water below, displaying vigilance mechanisms selected through evolutionary process. This river is both life source and boundary between life and death. For small creatures like the baboon troop, each approach is a survival decision. Baboons are among Africa's most intelligent and fierce primates. Gray-brown fur, elongated face, and good eyesight help maintain high vigilance. Their jaws are fearsome weapons. Canines can reach 8 centimeters long, bite force from 500 to 700 pounds per square inch, enough to tear enemy flesh in an instant. They live in troops from several dozen to over 100 individuals, with clear hierarchical social structure helping maintain order and reduce conflict within the group. Baboons are omnivores, consuming from plants to small animals. Flexible diet helps them adapt effectively to harsh conditions of prolonged dry season. Their notable feature is a sophisticated warning system. Different sounds correspond to each threat, from birds of prey above to predators in bushes. But with dangers underwater, warning signals become limited when forced to cross rivers. Survival pressure forces the troop to choose despite existing risks. The troop leader advances, observing the river surface. In the next few seconds, its choice will directly affect the entire troop's safety. Behind, the entire troop waits silently in tension. Mother baboons clutch their young tightly, as delaying too long can also increase attack risk. The water surface is still, flat, and suspiciously calm. In African river ecosystems, silence often conceals lurking potential dangers. A dark shadow over 4 meters long lies motionless beneath murky water. Only eyes and nose protrude, camouflaged effectively like drifting rotten logs. Nile crocodiles are top ambush predators, with morphology virtually unchanged for millions of years. Their pupils are extremely sensitive to movement. Third eyelid supports underwater observation, helping detect prey precisely within hunting range. Nile crocodile bite force exceeds 3,000 pounds per square inch, enough to crush prey bones. Once jaws have closed, almost no force can make them open. As ambush predators, they can lie motionless for extended periods to conserve energy and only attack when opportunity reaches optimal level. The tactic is very simple but extremely effective. Wait for prey to approach, attack in less than 1 second, and drag underwater to drown. Baboons are well aware of danger, while crocodiles are ready to ambush. The encounter between vigilance and silent strength begins right at this river bend. Finally, the troop leader decides to descend into water, each step cautious. The entire troop immediately follows, maintaining tight formation in this life or death choice. Adult males go first, water rising to their bellies. Behind, females hold young tightly, maintaining high vigilance against sudden attack risk. When the troop reaches midstream, water level rises to adult chests. Young cling tightly to mothers to avoid being swept away. Tension reaches peak. Suddenly, the water surface behind erupts. A crocodile charges with terrifying speed. The baboon troop panics, signals warnings. Formation immediately shatters. Individuals in front rush quickly toward opposite bank, while the rear group turns back. Dispersal breaks troop cohesion, making hunting risk increase. In nature, living in groups helps distribute risk. When separated, solitary individuals quickly become the clearest targets in dangerous environments. The crocodile locks target, not chasing the troop, but focusing on separated individual. This is common hunting tactic, prioritizing weak or slow-moving ones. Crocodile jaws close just centimeters from the baboon. Water splashes high. This individual escapes narrowly, rushing ashore at maximum speed thanks to survival reflexes. On both banks, baboons stand panting. The troop is divided by the deadly water. The first river crossing ends with luck, but not everyone made it to the other side. On the old bank, a mother baboon with young is trapped. She looks across to the other side, where most of the troop has safely gathered. Below the water surface, the crocodile has submerged, restoring initial calm. However, that silence is only concealing danger still lurking below. The mother baboon understands she cannot wait long. Lack of food and troop separation diminishes social standing. She must decide quickly to ensure survival chance. On the other side, the troop cannot wait, begins moving into areas with food. Distance gradually increases, forcing the mother baboon under pressure to act urgently. She descends into water. The young clings tightly to mother's back. Cold water gradually submerges the body. Each step is gambling with fate. Having advanced some distance, she steps slowly. The water surface ahead ripples lightly, then falls silent. Mother baboon is vigilant, eyes scanning along the current. From the right side, the crocodile suddenly lunges up without warning signs. At a speed impossible to react to, its jaws aim straight for the young on her back. Teeth sink deep into the young's leg. A piercing cry rings out. Mother baboon grabs her offspring, pulls back, creating a life-and-death tug-of-war in the water. On the bank, the baboon troop scatters. Warning cries ring out continuously, but no one dares enter the water, can only observe from safe distance. Mother baboon resists by instinct, continuously biting, clawing, and jerking. However, her bite force is significantly weaker than the crocodile's, making advantage tilt toward the predator. As the struggle drifts toward shore, the crocodile gradually loses advantage in shallow water. Seizing the rare opportunity, Mother Baboon musters strength for one final jerk. The young escapes the crocodile's jaws, but in an instant, the crocodile switches targets and locks jaws onto Mother Baboon's leg. The young runs ashore, trembling with leg wound. Another baboon pulls it into the troop's center. It survives, but the price paid doesn't belong to it. Underwater, Mother Baboon still resists, but the pulling force increasingly tilts toward the predator. Bit by bit, she's drawn away from shallow water. On the bank, cries thin out, then cease completely. The baboon troop helplessly watches, unable to intervene. The outcome is decided and no second miracle occurs. On the water surface, the last ripples vanish. The water continues flowing, reflecting natural law that won't stop operating for losses. The baboon troop leaves the riverbank, quickly reestablishes formation, with the wounded young walking in the troop's center. Life continues despite carrying irreplaceable loss. The young is still too small. It doesn't fully understand what just happened, but survival instinct has deeply carved a life and death experience. In nature, victory sometimes is simply being alive. No heroes or villains, only existence continuing in life cycle. Below the river, the crocodile returns to familiar ambush position. It can fast for many weeks, but still patiently waits for prey. Persistence is its key survival weapon. Life by the water always exists in fragile balance, where action and waiting alternate, creating an endless cycle. In the distance, the baboon troop has found an area with food and gradually restores daily behaviors. But the formation is now missing one member. The young with leg wound sits beside another female. It will grow up, will learn to survive, and someday will have to face this river once again. In the silence of the African plains, each species holds a role in nature's endless cycle. Life and death aren't opposites, but two parts of the same flow. A cheetah runs up, lowering head, sniffing the small, motionless companion lying on grass. No response, only wind blowing through spotted fur and silence enveloping the grassland. In the distance, two yellow shadows remain there, one individual bearing full injuries. On the plains, no victory is priceless. 2 hours earlier, early sun just touched Masai Mara grassland, and wildlife's rhythm began awakening. Under acacia canopy, a cheetah group rests with cubs. This is Zuri's family, one of Masai Mara's largest coalitions. Cheetahs are the planet's fastest big cat, speed reaching over 100 kilometers per hour. But in exchange is slender body and weak bite force, creating disadvantage in direct confrontation. Therefore, cheetahs typically form sibling coalitions, hunting and defending territory together. And Zuri's family has many adults, a rare number, strong enough to control wide territory. But even that coalition cannot protect cubs continuously. Individuals under 6 months still have high mortality rate from lions, hyenas, and birds of prey. This morning, 3 adult males left the group hunting, leaving females to protect 2 cubs, force reduced and risk immediately increased. 2 cheetah cubs are playing with rabbit carcass. Mother brought this morning, pulling, shaking, and pouncing each other. They play about 30 meters from acacia, completely losing vigilance. On empty grassland, distance becomes weakness. Group lies under tree canopy, leaving 2 cubs exposed within perfect range for opportunists. To the east, about 200 meters away in tall grass, a solitary lioness on patrol has detected movement. It lowers body, focusing completely on 2 separated cheetah cubs. Lions don't hunt cheetahs for food, but to eliminate competing rivals. This behavior is common, helping reduce future resource pressure. Distance gradually closes. Lioness creeps low, nearly invisible, while 2 cheetah cubs still play absorbed, not yet experienced enough to recognize threat. 20 meters. Lioness compresses muscles. Hind legs press earth. Under tree canopy, an adult cheetah raises head, scenting danger, but already too late. Lioness bursts into speed. 140 kilograms charging through low grass. Two cheetah cubs panic running two directions, but legs not fast enough. One immediately caught in lioness's jaws. Remaining cheetah cub rushes toward two adults. Caught individualized still. No response. As lioness stops and turns, head-facing charging group. Lioness doesn't retreat. It moves, holding cheetah cub like living shield, facing adult individuals growling with message. Advance further, cub will pay price. Two adult cheetahs advance few steps, then stop. They recognize the stalemate, when mass difference makes direct confrontation nearly hopeless. But cheetahs don't fight with strength, but with tactics, continuously distracting and dividing pressure from two sides to lock lioness's reaction rhythm. Harassment tactics begin. One advances forward, growling, drawing attention. Others circle behind, exploiting blind spot, forcing lioness to spin, continuously defending. Lioness gradually loses control, simultaneously holding prey in jaws while defending two sides, cannot roar or counterattack, locked in disadvantageous position. One from behind lunges, clawing lioness's flank, then immediately retreats. Lioness whips around, but gap has shifted direction while another continues closing in. After many minutes of harassment, lioness gradually exhausts from continuous spinning, jaws tired from holding prey, and calmness replaced by rage. And that's what cheetahs are waiting for. When lioness loses control, it must attack and release jaws, self-opening the mistake tactics aim for. Cheetah from behind lunges again, clawing deep into lioness's back, wounded through fur layer. Lioness roars, turns body in rage, and moment jaws open, cheetah cub falls. Lioness doesn't release from mercy, but because counterattack instinct overwhelms holding prey, immediately shifting to direct confrontation. An adult cheetah rushes to where cub just fell, lowers checking, but small body no longer responds, completely motionless. And that moment changes everything. It carries cub's body away. Eyes go cold, pack instinct fully activated. Right then, three adult cheetahs hunting return, abandoning prey immediately and charging straight back to group. Adult individuals converge, completing formation. First time lioness faces entire coalition. Cheetah group surrounds completely, eyes unblinking, bodies lowered. Force balance tilts decisively, and lioness recognizes this. Tactics upgrade. They take turns moving, forcing lioness to continuously spin left, right, behind, but every direction blocked, making encirclement increasingly tight. Attack strikes begin intensifying. Each one lunges clawing, then withdraws immediately. Not fatal, but eroding stamina through each defensive spin rhythm. Lioness roars and counterattacks, but misses. Each lunge makes it lose more strength, while opponents always stay out of reach. 10 minutes pass. Lioness gradually slows, swipes weaker, body turns heavier, and distance compressed from 5 meters down to 2. Encirclement tightens each beat. Claw marks thicken across body, not fatal, but enough to gradually drain strength. First time, lioness lowers center of gravity, shifting to defensive stance. Cheetah group recognizes the change. When the strong begin defending, battle has reversed. Attack rhythm increases, pressure pushed even higher. But battle will stop there. On Masai Mara, no creature is completely alone, and lioness is no exception. Earlier roar has echoed farther than cheetah group's calls. Ground trembles slightly. From the east, a deep, heavy roar tears through plains, bringing massive yellow shadow charging, dark black mane, rippling muscles, answering the call and advancing straight into battle. Cheetah group immediately flees in unison. Balance completely shifts. What they dared do against exhausted lioness, Wanmis, cannot apply before two powerful hunters. Male lion stands beside mate, not roaring, not pursuing, only silently staring straight at cheetah group, and that presence enough to close the battle. Cheetah group backs away. No more attacking, no more encircling. When coalition faces coalition, bene. They cannot defeat two lions. Afternoon sun descends on Masai Mara. Male lion lies licking wounds for lioness. Claw marks will heal, but lesson remains. The strong can still be eroded by numbers. And cheetahs also carry their own lesson. Coalition can erode solitary lioness, but cannot win when male lion appears. Each survival layer has limits. On this vast plain, conflict between lions and cheetahs occurs nearly daily, an arms race lasting millions of years. But today is exceptional. Rarely do cheetahs dare ambush, pressing lion into defense. Zuri's family transcended instinct, attacking the stronger. Price of ambush clear on both sides. Lioness weakened, requiring rescue. Cheetah group lost cub, a future link in Zuri's family, never given chance to mature. In nature, all behavior aligns with survival instinct. Lions eliminate potential rivals, while cheetahs protect next generation. No good or evil exists, only selection and consequence. Abandoned cub carcass will quickly attract vultures, insects, and microorganisms, initiating decomposition process, an essential link in nutrient cycle. Zuri's family begins stabilizing. Adult individual surrounding, cub at center, shielded, minimizing separation risk to maximum. Two lions still there. Lioness rests lying down. Male stands guard beside. They'll return to territory tomorrow morning and continue patrol. At conflict point, grass gradually stands back up. Blood seeps into earth, first scattered by wind. By tomorrow morning, traces will nearly vanish, only a few strands remaining. Survival on plains is problem without answer. Strength beats numbers, numbers beat individual, then coalition defeated by larger coalition. Somewhere on Masai Mara tonight, Zuri's family will lie close together under starry sky. Entire group will surround remaining cub in defensive formation. Evening wind blows across Masai Mara, carrying scent of wet grass and earth dust. Claw marks on lioness's back have dried, while cheetah cub carcass gradually covered by ants, all traces fading with time. But lesson not erased. Lioness becomes more cautious when facing large cheetah groups, while Zuri's group keeps cubs close to formation, each side accumulating experience from their own scars. As last light leaves Masai Mara, planes sink into invisible sounds, where just 1 second of carelessness can trade for irretrievable loss. The price for those who start conflict sometimes is those who must pay most dearly. Dawn spreads across the Serengeti, piercing through thin mist, awakening the vast plains where creatures operate by harsh survival laws. Early wind carries the scent of damp earth and breath of thousands of creatures gradually waking, from small species to predators atop the food chain. Under acacia canopies, as temperature gradually rises, life's rhythm becomes more vibrant. Species begin seeking food and water sources for the new day. A baboon troop moves slowly across open land, adults leading, young playing behind, not yet knowing today will be different from all others. Baboons are among Africa's largest primates, adult males weighing up to 40 kilograms, with canine teeth reaching 5 centimeters long. They live in large troops, from several dozen to over 100 individuals, with strict hierarchical system led by strongest males, creating a highly organized society. A young baboon separates from the group, curiously advancing toward nearby bushes where something is stirring among dry leaves and broken branches. Mother emits a short call summoning offspring back, but exploratory instinct makes the young individual react slower to the warning signal. Hiding in the bushes is a honey badger, creature dubbed the planet's most fearless animal according to Guinness World Records. With skin thick up to 6 millimeters that can rotate freely around the body, honey badgers are nearly immune to fangs and claws of most enemies, even cobra venom. The young baboon advances closer, tilts, head observing the strange creature among bushes, not yet recognizing it's toying with one of the plains' most dangerous species. The young baboon's small hand touches the honey badger's short tail and pulls lightly, gradually triggering an irreversible chain of events. The honey badger turns its head, black eyes showing no fear, only the cold warning of a warrior accustomed to countless life and death battles. It backs a few steps, emits a low, guttural growl from deep in throat, the final warning sound before all patience reaches its limit. But the young baboon still advances, and this time pulls harder, crossing the boundary no creature should touch when facing a honey badger. To understand why the honey badger's next reaction is so terrible, one must look at the weapons evolution has bestowed upon this creature over millions of years. Honey badger claws are nearly 4 centimeters long, hard as steel, and curved like sickles, helping dig effectively and inflict serious damage on prey or opponents. Though jaws aren't large, they have bite force enough to crush turtle shells, and more importantly, the instinct to target weakest points on opponent's body. In contrast, baboons possess canines more developed than even leopards, but their true strength lies in numbers and collective coordination. When one member signals alarm, the entire troop can shift state almost instantly, creating fast and synchronized collective response. The honey badger whips around and bites the young baboon's arm. Screams ring out, tearing the silence, spreading like an emergency alarm signal. The baboon troop reacts instantly. Adult males charging down from all directions, mouths wide displaying canines amid threatening growls. In just seconds, the honey badger is surrounded by the baboon troop. They form a closed circle with no gap for the intruder to escape. The honey badger doesn't back down. It bristles fur, emits low guttural growls challenging the entire baboon troop, fighting instinct completely overwhelming all survival calculations. The attack unfolds simultaneously from multiple directions. Baboons lunging to bite, then quickly retreating, making the honey badger unable to focus on one target. The honey badger spins continuously, using claws to counterattack, sometimes inflicting significant injuries on individuals unable to dodge in time. But with each counterattack, several other baboons attack from behind, canines sinking deep into thick skin, trying to stretch the small body of the lone creature. Wounds become increasingly serious, but the honey badger keeps counterattacking, each bite accurately aiming at opponent's face or throat. The baboon troop applies tactics instead of individual attacks. They coordinate in groups of 3 or 4, some holding legs while others attack head and neck. The honey badger's resistance noticeably weakens, counterattacks thin out as the body is attacked from multiple directions under continuous pressure from the entire troop. Growls gradually weaken, but eyes don't extinguish the fighting flame. The survival instinct of the planet's most fearless animal won't allow surrender. The exhausting battle lasts nearly 10 minutes. Finally, the honey badger collapses, not from lack of will, but because the body has exceeded endurance limits. But the baboon troop continues attacking even when the creature has stopped resisting. Protective instinct won't allow any threat a chance to recover. The lead male drags the carcass onto a low branch. This behavior marks the transition from territory defense to utilizing valuable protein source. Baboons are omnivores, with meat comprising part of their diet, and a honey badger is a nutritional source that cannot be ignored in this harsh environment. Dust hasn't yet settled, blood scent spreads in hot air, creating easily recognizable signals for other predators at distant range. A figure appears at the area's edge, moving low and almost soundlessly, showing the cautious approach of another predator species. Spotted hyena, predator with the strongest bite force among terrestrial carnivores. powerful enough to crush buffalo, femur with one bite. The creature doesn't charge straight into the baboon troop's center. It circles outward, observes, assesses, seeks gaps in the busy defensive system. Hyenas are masters of opportunistic tactics, often avoiding direct confrontation and prioritizing lowest-risk moments to maximize efficiency. It quickly recognizes a young individual separated from protective circle, focused on food without maintaining safe distance from the troop. Distance close enough for a short 60 km/h sprint to create absolute advantage before adult individuals can react. The attack unfolds in an instant. Target is subdued and the predator retreats immediately before warning signals spread. But the hyena has misjudged the situation. The baboon troop just experienced conflict, making their warning system operate at high sensitivity. Calls shift from warning to pure outrage, no longer defensive signals. Sounds echo across the plains like a declaration of war. The hyena recognizes the mistake as the baboon troop approaches faster than expected. Prey in mouth reduces speed, making safe distance rapidly close. First individuals have closed in from both sides, forcing the hyena into encirclement exactly like what they did to the honey badger just minutes before. The hyena must make an instant decision. It drops the young baboon to ground and turns to face the vengeful troop, jaws bared in threatening growls. But this time, the hyena no longer has the element of surprise. It faces a baboon troop in fully activated state, ready to counter all threats. The attack begins with even greater intensity than before. No longer harassment tactics, but continuous assault waves from all directions. The hyena resists fiercely, its jaws powerful enough to inflict serious casualties. But pressure from numbers makes it unable to focus on specific targets. The hyena's endurance begins depleting. Each bite consumes energy while the baboon troop continuously rotates attacks. The creature drops to one knee, tries to stand but is pushed down by the weight of 3 or 4 baboons at once. Encirclement tightens with no escape route. The outcome comes faster than with the honey badger. Hyenas lack thick protective skin, and the baboon troop learned lessons from the previous battle, attacking the most effective points. Two formidable plains predators have fallen in the same morning, not by a stronger opponent, but by the irresistible power of the collective. Afterward, the baboon troop quickly stabilizes. Individuals return to familiar roles, and daily rhythms continue as usual. Wind blowing across the plains gradually carries away blood scent and dust. Dry grass bends like endless waves, gradually concealing traces of the life and death battle just unfolded. In the wild world, there are no concepts of good and evil, only laws written by survival instinct over millions of years, where each species has an irreplaceable role. Tomorrow the sun will rise again over the Serengeti, and life's cycle will continue with new stories, where the boundary between hunter and hunted has never been certain. Midday sun blankets the plains. Heat makes the air shimmer slightly. No breeze, no cloud shadows, only silence stretching to the horizon. Amid the grassland, a zebra herd grazes, occasionally raising heads vigilantly, then lowering again. Peace here is always the most suspicious signal. Not far away, amid that uniform yellow grass sea, an anomalous form blends completely into the environment, motionless and nearly impossible to recognize. That's a lioness, lying flat less than 5 meters from prey. On the plains, the most dangerous thing isn't the echoing roar, but the silence. Africa isn't where the strongest rule, but where the best hidden survive. Biological camouflage is the supreme weapon of assassins. Lions are large cats living in prides, but most hunting activity belongs to females, individuals who directly approach and bring down targets. Tawny fur is the result of natural selection, helping the body blend into grass, minimizing risk of detection before attack. When approaching prey, lionesses lower their bodies flat to grass level, moving extremely slowly, just enough not to create clear movement signals to prey. And they always approach against the wind, keeping body scent behind. This is technique accumulated through many hunts, not just simple reflex. Pack hunting turns them into perfect coordination machines. One group blocks ahead, one group chases, forcing prey to charge straight into ambush. Lionesses have been in position since before dawn. The zebra herd is very close, but doesn't detect them. The invisible encirclement has closed, waiting for the activation moment. An individual separates from the herd, stepping into the gap between two ambush positions. Yellow eyes track each footstep of prey. Claws press lightly into ground. Lions from behind accelerate, forcing prey to run in predetermined direction. Escape reflex actually leads it into more dangerous territory. Individuals ahead simultaneously lunge out, blocking direction and closing in. The entire sequence unfolds in seconds, ending an ambush prepared over many hours. The zebra herd scatters and retreats. Lionesses stop. Target achieved. On the plains, initial distance matters more than final speed. But lionesses aren't the only assassins. When evening descends, another predator begins activity. A solitary hunter even lions are wary of. Leopards are masters of camouflage. Spotted coat not only helps hide, but also breaks up body outline, making prey struggle to recognize shape. In complex lighting conditions, this mechanism allows predators to be present right before eyes without being detected in time. Operating mainly at dusk and night, it exploits darkness plus soft paw pads to move with almost no sound. And leopards can drag prey heavier than their body up trees, turning canopies into safe dining places beyond reach of other species. Unlike pride-living lions, leopards hunt alone. Solitude helps reduce sound and signs, maintaining absolute advantage of surprise. This evening, an antelope stands under a tree base, head lowered, grazing. Its reflex scans both sides but completely ignores overhead. On high branches, the leopard lies motionless, observing and calculating. Everything stops at a moment, waiting for prey to step exactly into approach range. The antelope doesn't realize at all. Above, the leopard lowers itself. Claws grip tree bark. Muscles compress like springs, then release. The leopard lunges down. Front legs seize the antelope's neck. Jaws lock tight upon touching ground, making prey unable to react. In only a short time, the leopard drags prey up the tree and disappears into the canopy, erasing all traces on the ground. Lions disappear along the ground plane. Leopards disappear vertically, but both are still limited by the ground, while another danger exists where prey must approach. The Okavango region's largest river enters migration season. Thousands of wildebeest gather at the bank, hesitating before the calm water surface, where death hides invisibly. Nile crocodile, reaching 5 meters long, weighing 700 kilograms. Right now, almost absent. Only eyes and nose protruding, the rest blending into murky watercolor. Rough gray-brown skin, matching river mud, helps it hide completely. It lies motionless for hours, waiting for prey to step into attack range. Bite force over 3,500 pounds per square inch, strongest in the animal kingdom. And reaction speed occurs so fast, prey cannot respond. Thousands of wildebeest begin flooding into water surface churning chaotically. They must wade across, though knowing each step carries risk. Water surface suddenly explodes. Crocodile jaws clamp tight on the nearest wildebeest's hind leg, then drag prey, disappearing into the water in seconds of silence. Multiple attack points occur in short time, breaking formation. Pressure increases as individuals struggle to escape the water area. Individuals reaching shore stop to look back at the gradually stabilizing river surface. Only stillness remaining, concealing death below. Three assassins, three different camouflage types. When placed in the same ecosystem, we see three completely separate strategies. Lionesses camouflage horizontally, blending into grass and using pack coordination to drive prey into kill zones. Leopards camouflage multi-dimensionally, exploiting tree canopies and patterns to erase body outlines, controlling both ground level and heights. Nile crocodiles camouflage absolutely, hiding underwater, patiently waiting for prey to step into range. Their common point, not relying on speed but on patience, camouflage, and ability to shorten distance until prey cannot react. But on the Okavango savannah, the three assassins' territories often overlap. The same zebra herd can face all three in one day. Prey maintain continuous vigilance. Head down, eating for seconds, then raising to check. But when opponents have camouflaged, detection becomes uncertain. And that's precisely the survival paradox. Evolution enhances prey senses, while simultaneously optimizing predator concealment ability. Evening descends on Okavango. Zebras who survived the morning ambush are advancing toward the riverbank, slower, more vigilant, and no longer separating from the herd. They stop far from shore, a few lower to sniff grass, then immediately raise heads. Morning's lesson still imprinted in reflexes. The lead individual advances first, scanning river surface and both banks, checking even the dangerous upper layer before stepping forward, only then allowing the entire herd to advance. The zebra herd drinks in rotation rhythm, half with heads down, the other half observing. No longer moments when the entire herd loses vigilance. Below water, crocodiles have positioned, but distance is kept farther than usual, conditions insufficient for effective strikes. The herd leaves the bank immediately after drinking, not lingering. Quick decision helps reduce time exposed in risk zone. They stop to rest on high ground, standing in a circle, eyes facing all directions. New vigilance behavior formed after just one morning. In sparse forest, an African rock python lies motionless, coiled under a rotten tree trunk. Body pattern blends into tree bark, camouflage based on shape and color. Or a black mamba slides on tree branches, blending into dry branch color, so fast and silent only detected when already too close. And on the dry grassland surface, an African chameleon is changing color to match environment, continuously transforming to blend with surrounding background. On the African plains, every spatial layer has those hiding, all operating in silence. The zebra herd stands on high mound, choosing open place to rest at night. Long visibility, few concealment points, minimizing ambush risk. Evolution doesn't favor the noisy, but favors those controlling appearance timing. Right moment, close enough, and effective. But it also rewards memory. After morning's loss, the zebra herd is vigilant enough to survive the afternoon by the river, where crocodiles cannot strike. Night blankets Okavango in 3 spatial layers, countless predators are lurking, and countless prey are moving in the same system, repeating a cycle existing very long. And the question each prey on the plains faces daily isn't, are there predators here? Because the answer is always yes. The real question, the life or death question, is much simpler. In grass, in trees, or below water, right now, where is it? From above, the East African savanna appears as an endless golden canvas, where the shadow of large wings glides silently in parallel with a dark streak moving close to the ground. Beneath an acacia tree, a pride of lions rests after a meal. Bloodstains still ring their mouths, completely unaware of the brown eagle circling overhead and gradually lowering its arc. Under the low grass nearby, a black mamba nearly 3 meters long slides across a trail, carrying in its fangs enough venom to kill 10 grown adults. The eagle suddenly folds its wings and dives, talons driving straight into the mamba's midsection. Wind screams through the feathers as the large shadow rapidly covers the grass below. Talons pin the target to the red dust. The mamba immediately coils in resistance, whipping its head around at extreme speed, its venom-loaded fangs ready to strike. The mamba tightens around the eagle's wing, locking it in place and leaving the eagle thrashing helplessly as the venomous fangs continue searching for an angle on the neck. The eagle pecks repeatedly into the snake's body, but each strike only causes the mamba to tighten further. Two bodies roll across the red earth, dust billowing in clouds, feathers and scales tangling together. The sound of the violent struggle causes the lion pride to raise their heads. Two females rise and move slowly forward, curiously watching the cloud of red dust rolling up along the trail. One lowers its muzzle toward the brawl. The mamba immediately releases the eagle's wing, rears its head high, spreads its hood wide, and lets out a loud hiss of warning. The lioness stops. It recognizes that what stands before it is not prey, but a venomous threat. The mamba slowly slides out of the red dust and disappears into the low grass. The eagle snaps upright, spreading wings that are now slightly misaligned. Both lions still stand nearby as it fans its neck feathers and opens its beak in warning after the life or death struggle. The two lions advance no further. The eagle quickly gathers itself and labors heavily off the ground, circling once before fading into the rising thermals above the savanna. Beneath the low grass, the mamba has vanished, leaving behind a patch of earth that even the top of the food chain chose to avoid. In the end, all three species walked away. No true winner, only creatures that understood survival sometimes matters more than continuing the fight. Far from the red patch of earth, a secretary bird, nearly 1.3 meters tall, strides across the blazing grassland, its scale-armored legs ready for snake hunts across the ground. For this bird, the legs are the weapon, thick scales resistant to venom and kicks of tremendous force, moving steadily through the dry grass in search of the next prey. Ahead, a cobra nearly 2 meters long slides across open ground. The secretary bird immediately halts, lowers its neck, and holds a safe distance. The cobra quickly rears up, spreads its hood wide, and opens its mouth in a threat display. But the secretary bird only steps slowly sideways, forcing the snake to rotate with it. The snake suddenly lunges forward, but the moment its body is fully extended, a strike like a thunderbolt drives straight into its midsection, slamming the cobra down onto the red earth. On the next attack, the secretary bird again leaps backward at the right moment and delivers a reverse kick into the oncoming head, sending the snake staggering. By the third exchange, the cobra is slower. A kick straight down to the top of the head sends the snake's body thrashing across the ground, unable to raise its neck again. The secretary bird delivers a few more decisive kicks, then picks up the cobra's body and walks on across the grassland, as though the hunt just completed was nothing more than a routine part of the afternoon. It will continue sweeping through the grass until dusk, using its long legs and patience to bring down one snake after another with precise strikes. The sun-scorched grassland belongs to those who hunt from above. But to the west, among red rocks and scorching thorn bushes, another snake hunter appears, one that works at ground level through pure speed. A semi-desert stretches with cracked red rock and scattered cactus, as a small shape darts through the gaps in the stones so fast that the dust has not yet risen before it is gone. That is the roadrunner, a bird that hunts with long legs, a tail like a rudder, and a ground speed exceeding 40 kilometers per hour rather than wings. Ahead, a desert snake slides across open ground. The roadrunner spots the prey and immediately changes course, driving straight toward it without slowing. The snake quickly coils into a defensive posture, but the roadrunner simply circles continuously, forcing the opponent to keep changing direction until the movements of head and body begin to fall out of sync. The snake's strike misses. The moment its head extends forward, the roadrunner has already looped behind it, driving its beak hard into the back of the neck and slamming the snake's body against the red rock. Keeping the prey gripped in its beak, the roadrunner repeatedly slams the snake's body against the rock until the entire body goes limp and stops responding. Right where the chase ends, the hunter begins eating its prey. Each portion of the snake's body disappears between strong jerks and steady swallowing. On this arid land, the window of survival is always brief. Just minutes ago, a living creature was finding its way to survive. Now it has become the energy source sustaining another life. Across the savannah and semi-desert, each bird hunts in its own way. One uses talons, one relies on the force of its kicks, and the roadrunner depends entirely on speed. Every snake hunt between savannah and semi-desert is a gamble, because just one successful bite from a black mamba or a cobra is enough to end the hunter permanently. The eagle survived that morning because the mamba's fangs glanced off the thick neck feathers. Had they pierced the skin, the venom would have brought it down from the sky within minutes. For the secretary bird, the leg scales are the final line between life and death, because if the cobra could reach the unprotected thigh, the outcome would be entirely different. The Roadrunner is different. No armor, no grip strength, only raw speed. Every loop around the snake is a bet of its life for the sake of its young. The brown eagle perches on a dry branch, wings pressed to its body, waiting for the bruised muscles to recover after the struggle. Further out in the afternoon grassland, the secretary bird still paces slowly through the yellow grass, knowing snakes are most active as temperatures begin to fall. Across the semi-desert, the mother roadrunner continues driving through the scorching rock crevices to find food. And beneath the acacia tree, the lions still lie there. And every time the wind stirs the grass ahead, they immediately raise their heads and look toward the place where the mamba once disappeared. Tomorrow, the eagle will circle the sky again. The secretary bird will step through the yellow grass, and the roadrunner will continue racing through the red rock. But the snakes will continue to exist as well. The race between Talon and Venom has no finish line, only the next round. When the last ray of sunlight leaves the savannah, the mamba still slides silently through the wind-stirred grass, fast enough and venomous enough that no one wants to cross its path a second time. A North American marsh wrapped in thin early morning mist, reeds swaying softly in the breeze. Amid the shallow water, a tall figure appears, its blue-gray plumage blending into the marsh backdrop. In the middle of the wetland, the great blue heron emerges like a living spear, over 1.2 meters tall with a wingspan of nearly 2 meters, standing in silence, waiting for prey to step into range. As the early sun warms the water, a school of small fish swims past a submerged grass clump, the heron still motionless, only its amber eyes slowly tracking every movement below the surface. One fish separates from the school, closer still. The curved neck slowly lowers, each vertebra locking into position like a spring being quietly compressed. Then the neck releases in an instant. The head drives into the water like a lance. The surface explodes, and when the head rises again, a fish is pinned sideways in the long beak. It rotates the fish to the right angle and swallows it whole, a small bulge traveling down the throat. The body returns to its familiar posture, waiting for the next movement. But fish are only the simplest item on the great blue heron's menu. This elegant bird can swallow nearly anything that fits within its beak, which is over 20 centimeters long. At midday, a water snake slides along the grassy bank at the marsh's edge, seeking shade, unaware that it is moving toward a predator that even its own parents would avoid. The heron spots the snake, but does not lunge. It only paces slowly across the mud, quietly circling to cut off the prey's route back to the water. The snake raises its head and recognizes the danger, immediately turns to flee. But the S-curved neck has already lowered, ready to fire before the next movement. The beak drives down, the snake immediately coils tight around it. The great blue heron shakes sideways, then slams the prey hard against the surface, the mud. By the final slam, the snake's body begins to go limp, the coil loosening. The hunter shakes hard until the snake falls free of the beak, then grips it again and begins the process of swallowing. Several minutes of struggle disappear as quickly as they began. It stands motionless in the shallows once more, neck curved, feathers smooth, amber eyes already tracking the next movement. To the south of the marsh, where the water is deeper and the mud softer, a young American alligator, less than 30 centimeters long, glides slowly along the water's edge, learning to stalk and hunt. Only a few months old, it is still far too small to be at the top of the food chain, while it remains a target itself for larger creatures watching from around the marsh. The young alligator moves to the shallows, stops to observe, its underdeveloped hunting instinct leading it to mistake the gray shape ahead for nothing more than a dry log. It swims 1 more meter, then half a meter. The neck lowers, so slowly the water makes no ripple, locking onto the small creature busy paddling through the mud. In the blink of an eye, the beak clamps onto the baby alligator's body before it can react, then slams it repeatedly against the water. The prey struggles weakly and gradually goes still. The young alligator goes motionless. The creature that would have become the lord of the marsh has just disappeared into the mouth of a bird. It would have frightened away once fully grown. As afternoon comes and the water warms, creatures grow more active. And to the north of the marsh, a mother mallard and her ducklings swim slowly through the still water in single file. One duckling is pulled sideways by the current, falling behind, small feet kicking frantically, opening a dangerous gap between it and the protection of the group. The gray shape changes direction, unhurried, each step aimed directly toward the straggling duckling, while the mother continues swimming ahead, completely unaware the group is now one short. The prey swims across its path. One single movement, the beak snaps shut instantly, the yellow down disappears into splashing water, and the mother turns in alarm. The heron raises its head and swallows the duckling whole, leaving a flat water surface behind. The mother circles, searching uselessly, then continues moving as though nothing was lost. The heron stands motionless, the small ripples slowly fading. In a single day, several different prey have passed one after another through this hunting ground. The belly is not yet full. The stance in the middle of the marsh remains, because in the water around it, almost every movement can become food. Late afternoon, the heron's shadow stretches long across the water as a small frog touches a lily pad near the marsh's edge and vanishes instantly. It does not hunt by species, it hunts by opportunity, where any creature that appears at the right distance, the right size, at the right moment can disappear. Its weapon is not fang or talon, but a curved neck that can compress and then release in a flash, leaving prey no time to react. But speed is only half of it. The other half lies in the ability to stand completely still for so long that many creatures fail to recognize the danger standing right beside them. Long toes distribute its weight across the soft mud surface, allowing it to move silently through the hunting zone without being detected. In the low afternoon light, the heron continues moving into deeper water, where larger prey appears, reading the entire marsh like a living hunting map. A larger fish swims slowly near the bottom. The great blue heron watches from above, adjusting its angle of view to compensate for water refraction with high precision. It releases the neck. The head drives deeper than this morning. The large fish is pinned sideways in the beak, thrashing hard. The heron slams the prey into the water, stunning the fish, then swallows it whole. The belly grows heavier, the steps slower, but the eyes remain alert. Any creature that swims past triggers an automatic attack reflex. 7 hunts in a single day. No selecting by species, only selecting by distance. No chasing, only waiting. And when the moment comes, everything ends in the blink of an eye. Below the surface, life continues normally for fish and frogs, while the mother alligator can only protect her young within the limits of her own field of view. The mother duck leads her ducklings into dense reeds to reduce risk. But the marsh always holds more danger, and the 7 that exist today may be 6 tomorrow. The heron still stands motionless in the marsh, neck curved, eyes open like a living statue. But inside the stomach are bones, scales, and feathers, and the water surface reflects the heron's slender silhouette. But beneath the mud, organic remains are decomposing, gradually converting into the nutrients that sustain this entire ecosystem. That cycle maintains the recurring rhythm of hunting, as species continuously appear around the heron's feeding zone, forming a stable but ever-changing system of participants. The heron spreads its wide wings, glides low across the marsh surface, then settles onto the reed bed bank in the last of the afternoon light, completing a full day of hunting. The marsh slowly shifts its rhythm, smaller creatures becoming more active as the gray shape in the water has departed, reopening the space for the natural pulse of life to resume. Tomorrow morning, when the first ray of sunlight touches the water, the heron will already be standing motionless in the marsh, while a fish unknowingly swims gradually into striking range. But the rhythm of life in the marsh continues by natural instinct, as species keep moving through the water where the heron typically lies in ambush to hunt. The marsh landscape is nearly unchanged: shallow water, soft mud, and softly swaying reeds, concealing a motionless yet supremely effective predator. The grassland of southern Africa, in the middle of the dry season, earth cracked open in great patches, grass burned flat, and the last water source vanished many weeks ago. But deep beneath the dry surface, a creature still exists. Its body nearly shut down, metabolism drastically reduced to hold on to its last reserves of moisture. Through months without eating or drinking, heart beating slowly, waiting for the familiar signal that will wake the body back to life. The sky to the west begins to darken, black clouds rolling low and carrying a damp wind. Then the first drops of rain fall onto the dry earth and seep into the cracks. The rain grows heavier, softening the parched soil, water pooling in small patches across the cracked surface, carrying moisture and new vitality to the arid land. Then the earth stirs. A crack widens, mud bursts upward, and from below, A large head with amber eyes slowly rises after months of concealment. The African bullfrog has a body as dense as a mass of muscle sunk in mud, jaws occupying nearly half its head, lined with small spike-like teeth. Once prey has entered, there is no escape. A body not built for running, it only needs to lie still and wait for prey to come to it. And after months of starvation, the hunting instinct rises back with full force. Small insects crawl across the wet mud. Another bullfrog lies watching the ground, its body blending almost completely into the mud color. A millipede passes close. The bullfrog's mouth snaps open, tongue fires out, jaws close. From the moment the prey touches down to the moment it disappears takes half a second. 10 minutes. Dozens of insects have vanished. The frog makes use of the brief rainy days to rapidly recover the energy burned away through the entire dry season. But insects are only the appetizer. For them, anything that fits in the mouth is food. And around the newly formed water pools, larger prey gradually appears. A field mouse steps out from the wet grass, searching for seeds along the water's edge, nose down low, completely unaware that death is waiting just ahead. It takes one more step, then the mud explodes. The frog's mouth snaps open, swallowing the mouse whole, locking every struggle down with the sharp teeth lining its mouth. The eyeballs press downward to help push the prey deeper into the throat. The mouse disappears, hind legs kicking weakly, then going still. The belly swells, but the mouth is already ready for the next one. 2 weeks after the rain, the savannah is drying again. Insects and small reptiles are more active, and the bullfrog has left the water pool, sitting motionless like a lump of dry mud on the red earth. A small snake slides past, just 20 centimeters away, tongue flickering, head raised to probe the environment. It is still too small to recognize the danger directly in front of it. The snake glides across the frog's field of view. A strike launches upward, misses. Red earth flies up as the prey attacks and tries to find a way out. The second lunge lands true. Jaws lock onto the head, spiked teeth drive deep. The snake's body coils and tightens around the frog, but is pressed flat against the ground. The frog begins to swallow. The grassland returns to quiet. The frog, lying still under the warm sun, belly rounded and full, beginning the slow process of digestion after a series of heavy meals under the sunlight slowly returning. The rainy season brings not only food, but the opportunity to breed, when all activity must happen quickly before the last drop of water disappears. At the largest water pool in the area, dozens of males gather, throats swelling as deep calls roll across the savannah, drawing females and staking out control of the breeding center. The strongest male holds the central position where the water is deepest, while others ram, press, and bite each other to win the only chance to continue their lineage. When the female arrives, mating is quick. Eggs are fertilized immediately and cling to moss and grass, beginning a life cycle that must outrace the receding water. Tadpoles hatch, thousands of tiny bodies swimming frantically in the warming pool, eating algae and each other to grow, because their life cycle is shorter than the pool sustaining them. Many weeks pass, the harsh sun returns, the pool shrinks day by day from a wide pond to a small puddle. Tadpoles packed together in a life source that is steadily running out. And in the middle of the shrinking pool, the father frog stays. He looks at the mud ridge dividing two pools of water, then quietly uses his hind legs to break through the mud, channeling his young through to the water on the other side. After hours of digging mud, under the blazing sun, his strength is spent, skin dry, eyes half closed. Yet he has held on to the chance of life for thousands of tadpoles. A smaller frog enters the territory being guarded. But for the bullfrog, a smaller member of its own species can sometimes also become food. The lunge happens quickly and decisively. As the dry season turns back, the instinct to protect and the instinct to hunt exist within the same body. Tadpoles begin to grow legs, some metamorphosing into frogs in fewer than 3 weeks, fingernail-sized, leaving the muddy pool to step into the high-risk world above the waterline. But the moment they reach the bank, the young frogs face hunting birds, snakes around the water's edge, and other adult frogs, because when hungry, this species does not distinguish its own kind. Most do not survive the first week. Of thousands of eggs, only a few will still be alive by the following rainy season. But those that remain will grow into monsters like their father. The pool has dried completely. The last tadpoles have left, and the father frog gazes silently at the empty patch of earth, sitting at the edge of dry mud, sensing the heat of the dry season slowly returning. Then the old instinct wakes. It begins to dig, hind legs driving hard, body sinking gradually into the hardening mud, preparing for the next long sleep. Mud slowly covers the back, the head, then both eyes, leaving behind a water-retaining membrane that gradually encases the body like a survival cocoon for the dry months ahead. The earth cracks open again, grass burns flat under the scorching sun. The water pools vanish entirely, and deep below the dry ground, the bullfrog lies still with a slowing heart, waiting for the next rain. A young frog that survived the rainy season sits near the drying bank. No larger than a coin, it has just caught its first ant. Life starts here. If it survives the first dry season, it will burrow into a mud cocoon like its parents, then emerge after the rains, larger, stronger, with a mouth that grows wider with every hunting season. The hot wind sweeps across the savannah. The cracked, dry earth is completely silent, but deep below, hundreds of bullfrogs lie still inside their own water-retaining membranes. And that is how the African bullfrog survives. The most voracious predator on the savannah is also the one that buries itself in a sleep lasting many months, just to exchange it for a handful of opportunities. Field mice still search for seeds. Grass snakes still hunt, completely unaware that the danger sleeping beneath their feet needs only one rain to open its mouth. The rainy season will return, perhaps soon, perhaps late. But without needing to know the timing, it only needs to feel the first vibration when water touches the earth. The first raindrop will fall, the earth will soften, pools will form, insects will surge, and from beneath the cracks, amber eyes will open again, beginning a new hunting season. But for now, the grassland is still dry and hot, and deep beneath the dark earth, it still lies there, waiting. The ground trembles faintly, not rain yet, only wind moving through the grass. But sooner or later, the water will return, and it will be here when that happens.